Timothy B. Schmit is coming in.
Yeah.
Hey, Timothy. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Are we on?
Come on in.
Please.
Well, we're
We're going to jump in midstream.
we're sort of on. We're a little off today, but we're on. All right, there you are. He's got his.
Looks like we got two guitar players, too.
We got a couple of things going on, so it's
Right
going to
on.
take a little while. Let's give you a nice introduction. Are you ready? Welcome to town, first of all.
Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Timothy B. Schmit is an inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and member of one of the most successful and enduring bands in American music history, the Eagles. He's the bass player, as well as lead vocal on Eagles hits like I Can't Tell You Why. And Love Will Keep Us Alive, too. He's also recorded and toured with people like Crosby, Stills and Nash, Jimmy Buffett, Steely Dan, Ringo Starr, Warren Zevon, and the group he founded previous to joining the Eagles, which I love. Used to listen to him in New Haven all the time, Poco. Let's see. Tonight at the Kirkland Performance Center, you can see Timothy playing songs that span his entire career. Everybody?
That's right.
That's cool. Tickets are available, but I wouldn't wait like more than a second. Let me get this out of the way. For tickets, call 425. Is it 893-9900, Joe?
Sir. Yep, 893-9900.
425-893-9900. Or we put up a link at bobrivers.com, kpcenter.org for the Kirkland Performing Arts Center. Timothy Schmit, welcome to the Bob Rivers Show. How are you, sir?
Good. Very well. Thank you.
Welcome to Seattle. Do you know Seattle at all? Have you been here a bunch?
I've been here a lot. Yeah, I have some friends here and we've played here several times over the years.
Over the years. But when you were in the concrete annals of the big stadium, it's not that city, right? It's backstage kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, often we go to, I'm in a town, I don't see anything but the car ride and to the plane. The
That's
stage
it.
and
That's
to the
touring
plane.
with the Eagles or touring with any of your other bands, right?
Pretty much. This is a little more low key. This is more sort of like the Little Rascals. We just kind of do it sort of grassroots.
Was this
My
like
dad's got a barn. Let's put up a show. Yeah.
Hey.
take a van from Portland kind of touring?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm driving to Portland tonight.
Wow.
After the show.
After the show?
Yeah.
You'll be sleeping. Someone else will drive.
I'm not going to drive.
Yeah, you don't have to drive. It's never. Tim, the Kirkland Performing Arts Center, I've been there recently. It's a beautiful venue. Like, people will hear you. It'll be crystal clear. It's one of those really nice, cool places to hear music. So if anybody is looking for something cool to do last minute, if they can get you in, definitely call that number. So, boy, a couple of things to ask you about. One, when you were a kid, your dad was a musician and you toured with him, right? You were on a bus, is what I read?
No, not a bus, but I actually lived in a trailer house. I mean, he was a club guy. They played clubs. He had a trio.
When you say trailer house, you mean the home went on tour?
Like a mobile home, yes.
Wow.
They used to call them trailer houses. Yeah, and for the first part of probably the first 5 years of my life, he brought my brother, my mother, and myself with him.
What did your dad, did he play and sing, both?
Yeah, and they did a little comedy. He played the violin. They did standards. He was one of the first guys that I know of who electrified his violin. And he was sort of a jazz swing kind of guy.
Wow. And you say a little comedy, like a vaudeville kind of make the crowd laugh while they did it?
They played clubs. They did like 5 hours a night, so
Right.
they had to mix it up. They did pantomimes. They dressed in drags and they did all kinds of stuff.
It's amazing you turned out this well. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Doing all right. Then now, growing up as a little kid, do you remember, like, did you decide that you loved show business, or is it just part of your life because you did that?
Well, I have two brothers, and they didn't. Although they're both musical, they didn't like really go deep into it. I just took to it. I liked it, and I was on stage. I did all kinds of stuff. One of the guys in my dad's band, his wife was a professional dancer, so she taught me how to tap dance. I suppose that was the first time I was on stage, and I just kind of liked it. And later on, I started picking up instruments. I started strumming.
I believe we have a
singing.
clip of you tap dancing.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. We can play any tap dancing clip. You were a tap dance teacher for a while. No? Is that
Incorrect.
incorrect? Is that a Wikipedia?
No, you can't go that far with the tap dance.
You cannot teach. Okay. And now the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How it's got to feel good to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, even though you don't go for it, you don't do all that practicing, thinking you're going to be in there someday.
Well, it's kind of dreamy because when you start a band in your teens, like I did, you really do dream of like all this stuff, and you dream of the highest levels possible, but you're playing with borrowed instruments in your mother's garage, but you have these dreams, and I've been one of the lucky people it's actually materialized.
It's got to feel good to have your music played on the radio every minute of every day of every year. I don't think there is a band that gets played on the radio more than the Eagles, because the oldies station, the classic rock station, the country station, the pop station, there is not a format that the Eagles, don't exist on. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, I'm a lucky guy. What can I say?
You ever feel a little bit like Gilligan when he's trying to watch cable at every other channel?
Yeah, I mean,
No, not really.
I thought that was pretty far out there. Yeah. But it's cool.
No idea what you're talking about.
Let me ask you this though: when you're driving down the road, is it and an Eagle song comes on, especially
Trying to loosen my load?
when you have a heartache tonight, do you? Does it ever hit you, or is it? Are you so used to hearing it? Like, does a song bring back like for us? Those songs bring back memories of what we were doing when we heard the songs. How about you?
Well, there's certain songs that you hear all the time that kind of like if I hear Hotel California, I usually turn it off because I've been playing it so much. But there's an occasional oldie, not always from the Eagles. Like I heard a Steely Dan song the other day that I sang on in the '70s, and then it starts bringing back memories.
When I heard this morning, I Can't Tell You Why. We played it this morning to open our show.
Thank you.
And a nickel or something. It's not a lot. I'm sure it comes to you, but
3.1.
3.1 cents.
Play it again.
I got a check for a penny once.
Did you really?
I say it's framed.
Yes, you wouldn't spend that. But anyway, when I heard it, I thought, gosh, and I'm not just stroking you. Timothy's voice is so cool, so good. I wondered why you didn't sing more of the hits, but it was explained to me it was kind of like a Beatles situation where George, if he wrote a song, brought it to the band, or John and Paul had a partnership. How did it work with you guys, and how did you get a song to the band? Like, was it all sitting around collaborating?
Well, first of all, I was the new guy right after.
So there was a pecking order.
The band was already established, and it was Don and Glenn had started this band and went through a bunch of changes musically and with a few people. And when Randy Meisner quit as the bass player, the original bass player, they called me and they wanted me to sing at least one song on the new album. And I had some pieces of songs, and I can't remember if I had full songs or not. But they went like, this is the one we're going to work on. And I was really happy that it was kind of that it wasn't real country rock. I was happy that it was R&B. I mean, one of the biggest bands in the world call you up and say, do you want to be part of this? It's pretty cool.
So anything they give you is going to be thank you. That's wonderful,
exactly.
And it's not like you didn't develop here. I've got 20 more.
I have my place in the band, and I love it. It's been very good for me on a lot of levels.
If we, after you leave today, just to remember you and remind people that they're going to go see you tonight at Kirkland Performance Center, if we play one song of yours that we can find somewhere, any band, doesn't matter, that you would like to hear on the radio, not turned down like Hotel California. No, it's the greatest song. It's
something
one of the greatest songs ever.
Punch out.
No, I'm allowed to turn that down.
We're not us. No. What song would we play as you're driving out the parking lot that you would like to hear on the radio?
The first song I heard on the radio, my voice on the radio every hour, I remember, because it was more. There weren't that many charts then. Was Ricky Don't Lose That Number by Steely Dan. I got to sing on that. And
you didn't even... Oh, you were singing on that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's one of my favorite songs of all
I sang
time.
on 3 Steely Dan albums. And so that's the one that just popped into my head.
So that one you still enjoy.
That's a near-perfect recording.
That's amazing, yeah. They were again, like the Eagles, these are incredible musicians.
Yeah.
Writing groundbreaking songs, not derivative of anybody else.
Yeah, they're unbelievable. Yeah,
Okay. Well, you're going to play for us, right?
I hope so.
All right.
So do we.
What do you have here? What do you? Do we have time to do it now, or should we take a break first?
Let's take a break first.
All right, we're going to take a break first. When we come back, Timothy, and who's with you here?
Hank Linderman.
Hank?
Look at Hank's guitar.
Isn't that gorgeous?
My God, I took a picture of it. I don't even know what I'm going to do with
What
that.
kind of guitar is that?
It's a dobro.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a plectrum.
Okay, so that's going to have a unique sound.
Unique.
And what do you want to play for us when we come back?
I'm going to play the first song off my new album, which is called Expando. The song is called One More Mile. I got up this morning, I want to tell you. I got up and tried to sing I Can't Tell You Why, and it's too friggin' early.
Okay, I understand.
Well, I'm not in my underwear
You knew
then.
because you were coming to the radio that they might say, "Would you play your hit for us?" That's all right. We played it on the record. That's
Thank
fine.
you very much.
That's no worries. What can you do, Ricky? Don't lose that number.
No.
I would have thrown my underwear for that one.
You would have thrown your underwear for that.
Well, I'll throw my underwear for this one.
Oh God!
Well,
no.
time's up.
He's got to go. All right, we'll be right back with Timmy Schmit.